Drive start from the 18, and right away it is a throw to get Willis in the game. And to his tight end, Chig Okonkwo on the run. Okonkwo all the way to the 34-yard line. Like we said, the explosive Titans offense on display.
The explosive Titans offense on display. You heard it right there from, that's Chris Collinsworth, I think. But anyways, so, we got a great show lined up for you guys tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in, all you that are in here right now. Tell all your friends, your Titans buddies, whatever, to come join us tonight. We got a star-studded lineup for you guys, and we're going to talk about the game. I got a bunch of videos. We're going to complain about the refs. We're going to do it all tonight here on the Rossi Report, and we appreciate y'all so much. The support has been really awesome lately on Twitter, on YouTube's been picking up for me personally a little bit, but on Twitter it's been rocking and rolling, and we just hit over 3K followers on Twitter, and we're picking it up on the channel a little bit here. So that's good too. So I'm going to go ahead and bring our cast in, our group. We got Mr. Tyler from Titans Time Podcast. We got Titans for Life, and we got TA. What's up, fellas?
What's up, guys?
How's it going, everyone?
I'm trying to keep it real.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of that tonight, I guess. But, yesterday I had the preview show, and I did, and this is totally against me because I'm a homer and I always pick us to win. But yesterday I just had a feeling that it was going to be that type of game. I really did. Like, I had a feeling we were going to come in there, we were going to play them tough, smack them in the mouth. I really thought we were going to play them tough, and we did. I said in the show we might lose by 3 at the end, and I even said in the show it's going to come down to Malik Willis at the end, and we're not going to be able to get it done. And it's not a slight against Willis. It's just he's young. And let me start off with this, guys, and we can go around or whatever. This whole season, we've dealt with this first half, second half thing. Now, Malik Willis was in the game. He came out and played well. You saw the video there of Chig. We all saw the play. TA, you called the game. So you were in there every step of the way. And we'll start with you, man. But what the hell is the difference in the first and second half? Why is Todd Downing going away from what works for him?
I don't think anyone knows, to be honest. It amazes me. It amazes me, being up 8 pretty much the whole most of the game, I guess, or whatever, and that's when you decide to not run Derrick Henry. I don't understand that thought process. I would have gone full on Alabama Lee style, and I would have ran it. I don't care if they'd known it was coming. I would have ran it every single time at them. The receivers, they're not getting open. This is going to be a long show, you guys. Just buckle up. Oh my God. It's not good.
It's terrible. And James, what were your thoughts on it, man?
Well, my biggest fears, number one, was that, I said earlier this season that it would be a year and a half before Malik was ready. He's not ready. There were a couple of times where a throw, an NFL quarterback could have made an NFL throw and gotten it in there. There were a couple of throws that I think he left sitting out there. But overall, I think what's really going on is the route combinations. They're going into a lot of flood routes where they're flooding one side of the field with all the receivers, and there's nothing backside. And to me, that's a mistake when you don't have that dynamic receiver that can take the top off of a defense. Then that safety can just sag, and you only have a half a field to work with now. So to me, that is one of the issues that I see with Malik in there, and it's another issue of where, look, we have not that flood route situation has not worked in a year and a half. What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. It's not fooling anybody. Maybe we should get some concepts from the University of Tennessee. Spread these guys out, force them to play the entire field. The only difference is the Titans can run. The Titans can run the ball, where the University of Tennessee has real problems running the ball. And I think the Titans have a much better defense when it comes to, when you move up a notch. I think the Titans defense is much better. So I think that there are some things that we really need to do offensively that we're not getting done. I don't know. Maybe some of these guys need to go to church and get Jesus or something, and try to get some catches or something. I don't know.
And and Truth, what's up, Truth? We just got him in the building here. And anyways, we're just kind of talking about the stark difference between the first and the second half. You know what I mean? And I got some clips of some plays here, and I want to show them real quick. As far as what was working in the first half, and I love the game plan in the first half. I haven't tweeted, wow, Todd Downing's calling a good game. He was calling the read options to Willis. He was rolling them out of the pocket to the right side, and he was giving Malik Willis an opportunity to make plays. He wasn't stifling him that's just my opinion, like he was in the first half. And there was like these type of plays here. And then the play to Hooper.
To knock him on his backside. So that's why.
Fake to Henry. Throw is complete down the field to Austin.
Which, I mean, though, that the second one was almost a broken play, but you're still giving him an opportunity. And so, Truth, I mean, what do you think it is with Downing? Is he just stupid or what? I don't understand. You good? Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay, I was just asking, what do you think it is with Downing? What's the crazy difference in the first and the second half?
That I wish there was a way to answer this question. I think a lot of it is what probably a lot of you have said, and a lot of people have talked about. When it's scripted, he knows what he's doing. He already knows what he's going to call. But it's when things go off script where it seems he has his biggest struggle, either with his off script or when the defense has made an adjustment to him. And I always say this, you got to make adjustments to do something better. The defense is going to adjust to you. You have to adjust to their adjustment. They're going to make a change. You got to make a change with that too to keep them guessing. You notice in the first half, the read option was working great. It's like, pick your poison. You either, if you crash down on Henry, Malik can tuck it and run it around the edge. If you are standing there with Malik, he gives to Derek. Derek goes up the middle and gashes you. In the second half, the Chiefs did a whole lot better job containing that, and they didn't really Downing didn't adapt to that. And that's the issue that is with him. He doesn't adapt to the situation. No feel for the game. He looked like a deer in headlights. No idea what he's doing.
And Tyler, there was a moment, and I talked about this on the show last night, where they showed, and I don't know if you guys remember it, but they showed Todd Downing I think it was in overtime. And he had that playbook up to his face, and he looked like a deer in the headlights, what Truth just said there. And I remember looking at it being like, oh, my God, this is going to be bad, man. and somebody had a question about Tim Kelly. I think it was Sauce Monster, and I'll let you answer this one, Tyler. He says, "Isn't Kelly the passing game coordinator for the Titans? So is it on Downing or Kelly?"
I mean, it's going to be on Downing because ultimately what's happening is he's the one calling in the plays. So knowing the personnel that's out there on the field, what's been working, what hasn't been working, you're the one calling the plays there in the second half to try to put your guys in a position to go win this game. And if you're not giving them the best shot at that, it comes back on the offensive coordinator. And I think what everyone's pointed out has been great points with the route concepts, bunching everyone up on one side of the field. That doesn't help your rookie quarterback out because, he's shown that even like in the Texans game, when guys are considered NFL open, he second-guessed himself a little bit. Now, he played better against the Chiefs, but if you're getting everyone on one side of the field and bunching them up, he's not going to feel comfortable making that throw right now. Play to his strengths. Yeah. And like TA said, we're up 8 coming out from halftime. The rest of the game plan is Derrick Henry all the way. I don't understand why he didn't finish this game with at least 25 touches. I mean,
and I agree. And uploading, I think I don't know if it was upload. Somebody sent me a text yesterday in the second half saying, is Henry hurt? Is he? Maybe he's. I don't think he was. I think it was just a matter of. I don't know. They were getting in second and long situations or first and long with the penalties and stuff like that. And I do want to get to that, man, because, a lot of people on Twitter today, a lot of Kansas City fans on Twitter and stuff are going back and forth about the penalties and all that. But the 2-point conversion, right? I mean, when you go back and really look at it, now you could say you can make an argument for Kalu, he bear hugged him in the beginning. But if you really look at the video, and I have the video, by God, I do. It looks the way that it looks is Kelsey just lunges at his face right off the bat. And even Teron Davenport asked him, what the hell else are you going to do? When the guy just goes right after your face. Now, after closely watching it, Kalu actually took the helmet off. I don't know if y'all saw that. He actually undid the strap himself. I think the helmet was already kind of up on his head a little bit, and he just, But what do you guys think about that, man? I mean, we'll just go around, whoever wants to go. But what do you guys think about that 2-point? Was it on us? Was it on them?
Shouldn't have come to that. Be honest, it shouldn't have come to that. It's irrelevant to me.
No.
A lot of people can blame the officials all they want. Doesn't matter. Who cares? Doesn't matter. Right. Like at the end of the day, we had it in the bag. Defense did everything they had to do. We got Jeffrey Simmons, who's playing at an all-time level. Like he's completely changing the game. Like he's commanding double teams. Danico Autry's doing his thing. Like this front it seems like whoever steps in there to play next to Jeffrey Simmons and Autry, they just are going to be better. You know what I mean? And to see an 8-point lead and to see Derrick Henry, he didn't even get 20 touches, right? Wasn't it like 18, something like that? 17, 18, something like that. Now let me tell you this: if you're up, if you're up 8 points, right, and Derrick Henry has, I think it was 98 yards at half, somewhere around there, and you're gonna tell me at that point at the end of the game, you're gonna tell me Derrick Henry's gonna finish with barely anything more than that. And not many more carries, knowing that we got to continue to run the ball, knowing that we don't have the receivers out there, knowing we don't use our tight ends at all correctly. It's a mess. It's a mess. And when I saw Derrick Henry, and I know everybody, and Rossi probably has the video, Derrick Henry going up and shaking every defender's freaking hand. If you didn't feel goosebumps, I'm getting goosebumps right now talking about it. If you didn't feel something while watching that, I don't know what to tell you. Then you don't bleed two-tone blue because Derrick Henry knows we let our defense down and we continue to do it. We can't even score 20 points, bro. Like, luckily, we're in this division. Lucky.
Yeah.
And I want to add to that. The 2-point conversion I thought was ridiculous because that's what I thought the refs won this game for the Chiefs. And a lot of that they could have just let go, but the refs got to make themselves look good on Sunday night. But the backbreaking play was that 3rd and 17 that should have never been converted. But the problem was Weaver was held that whole time on that particular play, and that should have been called, and it should have been 3rd and 27. So that whole part took away the great effort from the defense. And one other thing on Downing, what I don't like and can't stand is the personnel groupings. The personnel groupings are absolutely pathetic. It's like you can tell what's going to happen. You know what's coming. Why is Cody Hollister getting snaps? But we have nobody else.
All right.
If a certain GM had made the trade that I suggested, we might not be in this situation.
I mean, at this point,
go ahead.
I take any receiver that will actually at least be looking for the ball when they run 15 yards down the field versus Cody Hollister running 15 yards down the field and he's looking to block the cornerback that's on it. I'm like, because, Malik put it out there to him and Hollister doesn't even get his head around for the ball. And right quick, I do want to hit on like the 2-point conversion, all that. I mean, like T.A. said, it shouldn't have come down to that. Halftime, Derrick Henry, 9 carries, 92 yards, averaging 10.2 a carry. And he finishes the game with 17, so he only touched the ball 8 more times. And start of the year, actually running the ball, Henry started off slow. What'd they do? They found other ways to get the ball in his hands through the pass game, get him in open field. And now, all of a sudden, they're going away from that again. Just not getting him involved in the pass game. Like, just get him the ball in space and let the dude do what he does best, and that's run away from the defense.
Well, I've always had the philosophy is that you get the ball in the hands of your best players, and if you're half the coach that he thinks he is, you draw up new ways every week to get the ball into your best player's hand. It's that simple. I don't care if he has to I don't care if Malik has to bear crawl to him 10 yards to hand it to him, out of his butt. I mean, you got to get the ball into your best player's hands anyway, anyhow, as many times as humanly possible. I mean, everybody knows the Titans don't have a passing game, but they still have problems stopping our run game. Our run game is tough. We put you into no-win situations because you can't have a linebacker trailing another linebacker trying to get Derrick Henry. If you've got Malik out there, you just can't do it because Malik will run on you too. That read option will work in that type of situation. But to be effective in doing that, you've got to stop having all your receivers on one side of the field, and you've got to. I think you got to give your most experienced wide receiver in Woods. I think you've got to give him the ability to run some option routes. See what it is the defense is doing, and allow him to break off a route into a specific type of route because he has the experience to do it. We have a bunch of younger guys that really probably don't. And then you also get what I feel is your best receiving tight end out there, and you allow him to change the game a bit until we can get Chig to a situation where he has enough experience to do that. Those are things that I see Todd Downing either doesn't have the ability to do or doesn't have the inclination to do. And either way, he shouldn't be the offensive coordinator. Either way you look at it. He's not getting the ball in the best player's hands. He's not creating situations where guys can be successful, and he's not going out and he's not being more creative in what he's doing, and he's using the same sets over and over and over again, where everybody, this is going to be a run, this is going to be a pass. It's he shouldn't be an offensive coordinator if he can't do better than this. And I've got 2 years worth of footage that says he can't.
Yeah. And yeah, he was terrible with the Raiders too. I do want to get to some of these comments in the chat real quick too. Appreciate y'all tuning in tonight. Please tighten up that like button. Go follow all these guys too on their respective channels. All their channels are in the description of actually they stay in the description of my videos. So they're always in the descriptions in our videos. So y'all go check them out. We got a lot of comments tonight, a lot of action going on. We got 45 people in the building. So please hit that like button for us. Subscribe if you haven't yet. We do have a super chat, $10 super chat from Stanley Wilson. We appreciate that. He said, "What's up, y'all? I'm calling it now. Fire Downing, hire Reich or Sean Payton as AC. Trade our draft picks for well-established wide receivers, or go down the road and draft Jalen Hyatt." Yeah, I mean, those are all good things, but I mean, realistically, will it happen? Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. And dude, look, I was saying this, the NFL trade deadline, right? There was 10 trades made. It was an NFL record of trades. There was all types of wide receivers out there. Probably some of them you could have got kind of on the cheap. I don't know how much Kansas City gave for Tony, but he's a guy. There's guys like that out there who maybe not the best, but they're better than anything you freaking got.
Let me put in on this, because that's the thing that pissed me off with a lot of fans that I hear this. The question keeps getting at, well, who's out there that's really going to move the needle? Are any of them will be better than what we got? And I'm thinking, so you're saying that Cody Hollister or Robert Woods or Nick Westbrook or Keener are better options than Chase Claypool, Jerry Jeudy, DJ Moore? The guys we have now are better than those options. Those guys that are out there won't move the needle. Any of those guys would have been our number one receiver, hands down. And I just think people that think like that think with a loser mentality. And that's not how you should think. You should always be trying to get better, always winning. Minnesota, perfect example. Their tight end gets hurt. So what do? They're like, oh, our tight end is hurt. We might need a tight end. They go get in division TJ Hawkinson for practically nothing.
Right.
They don't want to win.
The Jets did the same thing with the running back.
Yeah, James Robinson.
Yeah.
They went out and got him. The
truth is right. I mean, personally, I don't think it's. I think we're using what we have completely wrong. Obviously, we're under talented at the receiver position, obviously, but Treylon Burks coming back will help. I think we need to start treating Chig more as a weapon. Let him line up as receiver a little bit, if you have to, and start using Hilliard all over the field a lot more. Use him with Henry a lot more at the same time. And like I said, you just got to hope that Burks can stay in there and stay healthy. And then, I mean, am I allowed to say Kyle Phillips? I mean, hopefully, am I allowed to say that? Hopefully, he can come in and do something. That'd be nice too. We thought we had we thought we had the next guy in the slot, man, and and I know he's battling injury and stuff. So hopefully he heals up and stuff. But I think right now, look at even I knew we were going with Malik Willis about a day and a half. I think it was is when I predicted Malik playing over Tannehill, just for the fact we need Tannehill going forward. Malik's not ready. People can go ahead and say it's not his fault, and a lot of it's not his fault. But, I mean, if you look at him, man, there was a lot he did leave on the table for sure. And again, I'm not throwing all the shade at him for. I mean, he's got nobody. There's no separation with the receivers. I mean, the most separation was from the two tight ends in Hooper and Chig, and they didn't even play much. It's like what the. It's unbelievable. I have a bad feeling that this is going to continue. I don't see anything really changing. The only way we're going to beat these really good teams is if we get a turnover style touchdown or something from our defense, or Henry breaks a couple long runs. Other than that, it's going to be too many games where we're just not scoring enough points. That's just how I feel.
Yeah, and another thing, like going along with that, we can't. Our defense, even with how well they've been playing, they can't keep having games where they're having to be on the field for 90-plus plays.
Insane.
I mean, that doesn't happen in the NFL. And that's what makes it even more incredible that they were still able to hold the Chiefs to 20 points. Because if you look at just Patrick Mahomes' stats, like if someone just gave you those stats and said, how many points do you think the Chiefs put up? We're probably all saying 35 plus. We're not saying that they only put up 20. And they had 91 offensive plays. Like, they got to, at least with the offense, start putting together drives. I mean, longer drives to give the defense rest.
Yeah, it's wild, man. And I want to I'm going to get to a couple super chats. And sorry, Sauce, I missed yours earlier, but I found it. But I do want to play this video real quick. And it was Paul Kaharski asking NWI just about the wide receivers. Interesting what he said here.
We just go back to work. No one was saying this, earlier in the year, when we were making plays. So I'm just going to ignore all that and go back to work and just try to get better and make the plays that we need to make. That's all it is. It was a bad game, had a few bad plays, and we just got to go back to work.
What? Is he seeing something we're not seeing? Like, nobody was saying this earlier on in the year. Now, I give him credit. I mean, he made a good play. It was against Washington. Where he went up and got that deep ball when Tannehill, he almost got, his arm almost got, taken out, but he kind of stepped up in the pocket and made that bomb. But it's not like, come on, man, you haven't been doing this all year long. Like, let's
when you're having to talk about, one good play 2-3 games ago. And
right.
he's been on the field for all those games.
95% of the offensive snaps.
You're sitting there. There's an issue there.
And better yet, I went back and looked at his actual game log. In the last 5 games, 4 of the last 5, he's talking about, we've been out there making plays. How many catches has he had besides the Washington game? 0 in 4 of the last 5. 0. None. And you're talking about we're out there making plays and nobody has said anything before now. Everybody has been saying stuff before now. Everybody. All of us, any fans, what plays were they making? When I heard that, it pissed me the hell off when I heard that.
Yeah, it's wild, man. I do want to get to some of these super chats real quick. Sauce Monster earlier on gave us $9.99, so we appreciate that, man. He's been a loyal follower of me and a bunch of people around. So shout out to him. I had one more too. I was trying to find it here. There's so many freaking comments, and I'll get to some of them here in a minute, guys. Let's see. Philip Maddox with the $5. He said Vrabel needs more blame for the offense. It's his philosophy, not Downing. The offense has looked the same under 3 OCs. Makes a good point. Vrabel needs to get over his stubbornness. makes a good point there, and it could be that, but I just honestly think they just don't have anybody now. And I did want to ask you guys this question, and I want to ask the chat this question too. And a lot of people talked about it on social media, but would the Titans have won this game with Ryan Tannehill at quarterback? I'm saying yes. I think you at least could get another 3 points out of Tannehill. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I don't think we lost because of Malik Willis personally. I don't
Right.
really think it was his fault. I think it was the play calling in the second half. You don't run the ball when you're up 8 with the best running. I was born in 1990. I grew up watching guys like Barry Sanders and Emmitt Smith as a little boy, so I was able to see a lot. I've seen a lot of good football players, and this guy is definitely one of those players that's always going to be mentioned. And you don't use him when he's averaging, what'd you say, Tyler, over 10 yards a carry? Like, come on. Like, how does that's play calling before anything. That's straight up play calling because, Malik's struggling. Yeah, the receivers ain't getting open, but they were not stopping us running the football. That was a fact. And we went away from that. That's why we lost, in my opinion. I mean, who am I, right? I don't know.
Well, I think that I'm going to differ a little bit from you, but not too much. I think it wasn't Malik's. I'm going to agree with you there. It wasn't Malik's fault. But what Ryan Tannehill gives you the ability to do, what really Tannehill gives you the ability to do, it gets you the ability to get out of bad plays. He has audibled a lot at the line this year and last year, where he's been at the line. He saw what the defensive set was and said, "Oh no, they're going to be coming with a blitz. I'm going to hand this ball off." He does get us out of bad plays, and that's last year. That was the saving grace of Todd Downing. Even when we weren't playing very well, we were winning games because we were getting out of bad plays that would get us into behind the sticks. That would get us in behind the sticks because there was the audible of Ryan Tannehill going, "Whoa, no. This linebacker is creeping up. This safety's coming over. That means, it's going to be a blitz. It's going to be a linebacker blitz, and it looks like it's going to be a twist." And he's calling out, "Hey, this guy's the Mike. Don't worry about him." And it gets you out of bad plays. When you don't have that experience, Malik doesn't. I mean, it's not his fault. He's put in a bad situation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not his fault. He's put in a bad situation. Did he?
I wish he would have audibled out of that Bengal play.
But yeah,
which one?
But you see what I'm saying? I'm disagreeing with you a little bit, but I think we win this game because he gets us out of 3 or 4 bad plays.
Possibly, yeah. You could be right. Yeah, I mean, the guy is proven. I mean, he's won a lot of games for us. That's something we all can agree on. He's won us a lot of games.
And to keep building off of that, like both y'all said, it's not on Malik. I do think we win the game if Tannehill's in there, though, because given the situation we got into, how much of the playbook was actually opened up to, Malik, where they're saying, okay, we trust possibly calling this play and seeing if he can execute it. Like, even though we all put a lot on Downing, and there's no doubt he deserves every bit of it, is he's looking at Malik back there as the quarterback versus Tannehill. He probably has a couple other plays that he goes to if Tannehill's out there. And James brings up a good point. Tannehill can audible out of these bad plays. And to keep building on what TA said with Henry, 10.2 a carry in the first half. Only gets 8 carries in the second half. I think he had I want to say it was 4 in the third quarter and then 4 in the fourth quarter and overtime combined. And
All right.
I'm just why are we going away from that? Because how many other games have we saw where even if the Titans get behind the sticks, they still keep Henry out there on that second and long and put it right in his gut again? But no, second half, if they got into second and long or first and long, they pulled Henry off the field and put either Haskins or Hilliard out there. And if we run the read option with Haskins and Hilliard with Malik out there, it doesn't have the same effect as it does when Henry's out there.
Yeah. And I mean, I would say the part where Tannehill could have won the game is the late game situations. When it's about 2 minutes to go, it's a tie ball game. You got a chance to march down and win.
Right.
And Malik choked. He looked like a deer in headlights, like he had no idea what to do in that situation. Ryan Tannehill would have the calmness to know what to do in that situation, although you still have no weapons on the outside to help you, but he would still compensate for that and would still know, hey, we still gonna get down here and we either gonna get this field goal to score and, gives us a chance to win. And back to Philip's super chat, what he said, blaming Downing is one thing, but I also do put it on Vrabel because Vrabel is doing the exact same thing Mike Mularkey did with Terry Robisky, if y'all remember. Same exact way. Mularkey was just so stubborn, would not get rid of Robisky. Vrabel is doing the exact same thing. And I'm going to keep saying this quote from Winston Churchill. Those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it. Right now, the Titans are repeating history not in the right way by making some of the same mistakes that they made before, and they're not learning from them.
That was beautiful. I'm just going to say that.
That was awesome. I like that.
That's one of my favorite quotes in history. And I'm like, it applies.
That's awesome, man. And
what's sad about this team?
Go ahead.
You know what I think is the saddest part about this team? Every other part of this team is clicking. I mean, our special teams are playing really well.
Yeah.
Our defense is playing really well. But our offense is offensive. I mean, it is. It's awful. We have shining moments within our offense, and it's almost as if the team goes, "Oh, we're doing really good at we're doing really good at X. Let's go to B. Let's do B instead." And it's just the strangest. I mean, I don't know how else to explain it other than
cringe.
Yeah,
like Terry said, cringe.
You just want to cry sometimes. What are you doing? What are you doing to my poor team? But at the same time, I think there are. I don't want to sound doom and gloom here. That the Titans can do things that they're going to do. You know that Derrick Henry's going to get the ball. You know that he's the biggest weapon we have, but you still can't stop him. So that is what we do well. So I think at some point in time, you got to look at the film if you're the coaching staff and go, hey, look, our identity is running the beeping ball. Let's run the beeping ball. Yeah, we're going to pop one every once in a while, just to keep the guys honest a little bit. But we're just going to run the ball, and that's all. And if I've got to throw a pass and I don't have a receiver that I can trust to get open, Derek, you're catching the ball.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah, and it just makes you wonder. And this is a good question. And this is a question I want to pose to you that just came into my mind. With all the bad things going on offensively, do y'all really think in your own mind, does Vrabel even know there really is a problem offensively? Or John Robinson, I don't call him J-Rob anymore. Do they even know or believe in their mind that there is a problem? Because like you said, Rossi, they didn't make no trade at the trade deadline. Vrabel just keeps letting Downing do this. Do they even know in their mind that there's a problem?
I think
I would hope so. They're professionals. I would hope so. I mean, if a moron like me can see it, then surely they do.
Well, I do know that there were some from sources that I have that there was some talk of, they felt that the most pressing need was the offensive line, because the offensive line has been playing atrociously at times, and that they really felt that, if they were to be able to get some better offensive line play, extend the play for another second or two, that some of these receivers would be able to get open, that they would be able to get a little separation. But then, remember, their calculation is based upon Ryan Tannehill playing and being able to make NFL throws, on time. So I think from a standpoint of wide receiver positioning group, they don't value them very much. They value them more as blockers for Derrick Henry and things like that, which I don't necessarily agree with. But I can see you right now just shaking your head, going, no, no, no. But that's how they evaluate them. That's how they value them. And it's, to me, it's taking weapons off the table. But they felt the most pressing need was really that left side of that offensive line, and I can't really disagree with that, because it has played that left side has played pretty awful at times, and that's what they were focusing on the trade for, and they just couldn't make anything happen because that left side of the offensive line is a high valued part of the NFL.
I want to get to a couple comments here. There was one, what about Rob? And I had to go back and look at this play because somebody pointed out Twitter, the receivers blocking on that 3rd and long. And I think the play he's talking about was actually supposed to be a screen to guess who? Guess who it was, guys? It was supposed to go.
Swaim.
Hollister.
The old Todd Downing special. In the key situation, and I got the play, and you can see it was. Now, when you go back and look on the play, if Malik stands in the pocket there and hits Swaim, it could have been a pretty sizable game. But here's the play here.
Oh,
wow,
man.
crap. Let me take this. Crap. Hold on. Let's show that again. Let me take that thing off the screen. All right. So, so you see on the bottom there, he kind of, he's being chased to death, but, Swaim had blockers, a bunch of blockers out to the right. It could at least got you a first down, So that play was a little weird. I think it was kind of misconstrued by a lot of people, Nonetheless, it still irks me that you're putting Jeff Swaim in there when you have Chig, and Austin Hooper, who are faster and more athletic.
That sack was 100% Malik's fault. That was He ran right into their pass rusher. Derrick Henry had that play blocked on the outside. All he has to do is stay in the pocket and come up. But instead of going up in the pocket, you're taught to climb the pocket, right? All NFL quarterbacks, you're taught to climb the pocket. If there's nothing there, then you can hit something for 2, 3, 4 yards, because there's going to be a seam there for your throw. So what he does instead is he takes a step up in the pocket, and for some reason steps back in the pocket, cuts out to the left, and literally that's the only place he couldn't have gone and not been safe. That's the only place that he was not safe, was back and to the left, and that's exactly where he went.
And that comes from inexperience.
Yeah.
And it's just the fact you got to know, even if you don't think the play is there, you just throw the ball in the dirt, throw it away, live to fight another down. But instead, trying to make a play, depended too much on his legs there in that situation. Now, first of all, I don't know, like you said, Rossi, I don't know why you got Swaim in that situation, which I don't know why, again, which irks me.
They love him some Swaim. They love Swaim. They love him.
Swaim and Hollister. I don't know what it is, and
because they
that
block.
drives me crazy.
Because
But
they block. That, I
you
mean,
could have
that's
got it to
honest.
him there, like he's
That is
Well, what
a
about the
quote
offensive
from a
line? Get some
source.
offensive linemen that can block.
That is
Pass
a
pocket,
quote
please.
from an actual source that told me they love Cody Hollister and they love Swaim because they block.
that's what he loves.
Well,
By
let
all
me
the
ask this:
receivers, 'cause they can block.
if they love Cody Hollister because he can block, but is it because he can block in the back on guys that don't even matter to the play, or
Right.
what?
They don't care as long as you put forth the effort and you try to block.
I mean,
That's it.
I have never heard of a coach talk so glowingly about wide receivers blocking. I mean, go back to the Texan game. They asked him about Brandon Cooks and some of the other receivers. The first thing that came to his mind in that press conference, he said, man, Brandon Cooks, I mean, go out there, watch how he blocks. I'm like, forget the playmaking ability, and he runs the rock and ball. The blocking part is the first thing that comes to your mind. Who thinks like that?
Right, Vrabel, I guess.
Only one.
And guys, we are 47 minutes in. We'll keep going, and if any of you guys need to head on out, y'all just let me know. No worries at all. I do want to get to something real quick, guys, and I had something really cool. And this person has been following me on Twitter for a while and on YouTube, and she goes by the name for the fam on Twitter. And I think I have the picture here. I know I put it in here. Well, where the hell is it? Well, I thought I had the picture here. Anyway, she goes by For the Fam, and she sent me a really nice oh, here we go. I got it. She sent me a really nice message on Twitter. Her son is autistic, and he really loves the show. And I'd given him a shout out on the show, and she sent me a message here, and I wanted to just, put it up here. She says, "Good morning. I'm sure you're still just as enraged about the let's keep giving them a do-over until they get it right bull crap," talking about the 2-point. She says, "Not to mention the ripped off helmet of Kalu. Anyways, on a positive note, wanted to thank you so much for that shout out last night on your show. Although Logan only says a few words, they come out at random times. He does recognize his name. He's making a lot of progress. When he heard you say his name last night while he was watching, he smiled so big and he clapped. Melted my heart. Thanks again, Rossi. You're a great person. I wish you and your family a very blessed day." And also, she did tell me later on that it was Logan's birthday. And I'm not sure if they're watching tonight. I told them it'd be recording. But, we just wanted to wish him a happy birthday. There he is on the right. Little Titans fan there. So, and it is apparently it's World Awareness or Autism Awareness Month. So shout out to all the parents and all the kids out there and all that stuff. And so I just thought it was pretty cool, man. It's one of the reasons why I do this, man. It's such a cool thing when you have people reach out to you. And I'm sure all you guys have had experiences where, kind of a fan or a follower kind of randomly reached out to you and said something nice, and kind of makes it worth it. You know what I mean? Not TA. You got a lot of love in the chat, though, man. You got so many people hollering at us, right?
Sometimes I feel like people tune in just to yell at me.
Well, one of the things I do want to address, though, we've been talking about, we've been skirting around a little bit, though, is, everybody's talking about the refs, and the refs are terrible. Well, the refs are terrible in almost every NFL game the last 2 years. Okay? We've got to stop blaming the refs for everything. If I go out and I drink a gallon of rat poison, I'm not going to blame the doctor for not saving me. We're actually going out there and we're drinking a gallon of rat poison on our offense, and then saying that the refs are costing us the game. No, what's costing us the game is our inability to score, our inability to move the ball in the second half, and our inability to find adjustments when adjustments are needed. That's what's killing us. It's not the refs. The refs don't help, but they don't help us at times. They make bonehead calls and things like that. They miss calls. But look, in any level of sports, that's going to happen in any kind of sport that you play. Baseball, football, basketball, soccer, they all miss stuff. They all are not perfect. But what we've got to stop doing is compounding those bad calls that we get with even worse play calling.
All right. But what about this? What about this, James? Let me show you this.
Very open about it. This is how it has to happen.
That should have been
What about that?
That should have been a 15-yard penalty. That's unsportsmanlike conduct. But that didn't cost us a game. What cost us the game is literally we did not score in the second half. We score a touchdown, it doesn't matter. We go up 15.
I gotta disagree just a little bit. The refs did cost us this game. Plain and simple on that 2-point conversion. That is the perfect example. Because the fact of the matter is, if you call that holding on Kelsey instead of Kalu, which is ridiculous, no 2-point conversion. Now, I will say that doesn't mean that the game is completely won, but that was where it was lost. Just some stupid penalties on key plays, and there were a lot of holding that they were doing that they just refused to call. But it seemed like every time it came around with us, they want to call like illegal contact or something like that, which is ridiculous. So, Tights for Life, I hear you, but I respectfully got to disagree with you.
I mean, my disagreement with that is, okay, let's take, for instance, what we've been saying this whole, this whole 50 some odd minutes that we've been talking, okay? Let's say we run the ball. We run the ball. We run the timeout. Does that actually cost us the game? I don't think so, because we don't get put in the position where they're attempting a 2-point conversion, because we don't give them the time to get the 2-point conversion. Once again, first and foremost, to me, the most important part of this game was the poor play calling and the inability to understand what our team is. Our team is run the freaking ball.
And
we can't pass block to save our lives.
Philip asked you, James, does the rat poison help you block better? $2 super chat, so we appreciate that.
Wow.
And William Young with the $10. Man, you guys are blessing me tonight, man. I appreciate that. He says Vrabel is starting to remind me of Walter White, Breaking Bad. Sometimes he can be so smart yet so stupid at the same time. So there you go. There is some other stuff I wanted to get. The defense. The defense was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I've been saying it the last 4 games. The last 4 games prior to Kansas City, we have literally been a top 5 defense statistically in a lot of categories. And I said coming into this game, I said this defense, it's probably, as far as how they've been playing, probably some of the best defense they've played in a long time, to be honest. I mean, even through all last year, they are really – and Mike Vrabel continues to put guys out there who is the other guy? DeMarcus Ware, and then Edwards.
Walker.
Guys are going out there freaking making plays. Adams, Dylan Cole's playing better. Like, I wish he could do the same. I wish he'd have the same influence on the offense, but but it's he just continues to get this type of play, better than they are type of play out of the defense and stuff like that. But with this defense that we have, guys, moving forward, if we can get some semblance of an offense, just get a little bit, if, maybe Ryan Tannehill comes back after these couple weeks and things start to change a little bit. I don't know. But, man, imagine if we had somewhat of an offense. A couple years ago we were talking about imagine if we had somewhat of a defense. Remember when we had the killer offense and all that? And it's kind of flipped now. But just your guys' thoughts on the defense, man, how they're playing, And another thing, and I'll shut up. Chris Sims, I watched a thing of him earlier, and he was breaking down the game. He was calling us a Super Bowl team. I don't know. I mean, you guys see that at all? And I don't know.
Well, first let's give a shout out to one guy, Pop Tart. Tierra Tart has been playing out of his freaking mind. I mean, out of his mind. And Titans. I don't know if anybody in the staff is watching this. Pay Jeffrey Simmons.
For the love of God, please.
Pay him his money. Okay.
Just if they let him go, I'll never call another game. You can book that down. If Jeffrey Simmons leaves the Titans, I'll never do another anything. I will quit the. I won't be able to take that. I'm sorry. No way. Nah. This guy is special. My God, what he does on that field, he's literally like if any
player.
He's fun to watch. My God, I know we all love watching Henry, but when I'm calling these games, man, and I'm watching, my eyes are always on 9-8, bro, and it's a beautiful thing to watch. It's like art, bro. He's so quick, so strong, so powerful, and what I love is he'll get into the opponent's head. He'll talk smack the whole time, and I love it, man. He brings that fire, that energy, and I wow. Could you imagine? Just imagine him. No.
How many guys his size do you see when a play is breaking down the field because
yes,
either the quarterback took off or running back? Guys his size chasing them down the field and then still being out there for the next play. And, I mean, just what he brings to this team. You look at last night when they held the Chiefs to that field goal in overtime. The dude was just spent. Couldn't even get off the field because he had left it all out there. And I'm like, if the Titans don't pay Simmons, I don't know what I'm going to do. I've told one of my other buddies, I said, if they let Simmons walk or trade him away, anyone who watches my show needs to make sure there are no young ears around if they don't want them to hear some very bad things, because I would absolutely explode.
It'll sound like my show.
Yeah. I will go crazy. I will be livid beyond words. Again, back to my quote. Those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it. Will they learn their lesson from the A.J. Brown trade, which was absolutely the dumbest thing J-Rob has ever done? I'm sorry, John Robinson. He don't deserve J-Rob no more. That was already the dumbest move he could have ever made. Saying that stuff to Jeff, saying, well, I don't know how we're going to pay you. I'm like, you don't say that to this man. You say, we're going to do whatever it takes to pay you the money that you are owed and deserve. We're going to find a way. If we got to cut some lowball players, then we'll do that. But you going to get your money. That much is a fact. That's what I'm supposed to say. And the fact of the matter is, if they let Big Jeff walk and they make the same mistake twice, I will look at this team in a whole different light. I will still be a fan. It's like I will love them still, but I will hate them at the same time. And I will hate on them more than I normally would. And I will be way more objective. And I will be like, yep, Titans suck. Suck, 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 suck. And if you don't like it, you know what you can do.
I mean,
so
what really, what really
Oh,
surprised
go
me
ahead, man.
though is the ascension of Tierra Tart. Really, I was expecting him to be a serviceable player, but he has turned out to become more and more dominant. And yeah, he's playing right next to Big Jeff, so Big Jeff's going to command a lot of things. But they're doing a lot of things to try to keep Tierra Tart out of that backfield, and they can't do it. I mean, you've got Autry starting to play well. I think our DBs are starting to play a little bit better now. They're starting to find their groove, find where everybody's supposed to be, where they're at. Yeah, you can call a defense, and this is something that casual fans don't often get, is that you can call a defense, but it's how your players work together. Oh, you're not very good at this, this, and this, so I'm going to kind of cheat toward that to ensure that I give you time to recover if this happens. That's just how the defense works together. That's how all offense and defense will work together. They will work together. If they know you don't do something very well, they will kind of cheat to help you out and give you a split second to recover. So I think this defense is now figuring out on the backside, oh, this is what you do well, this is what you don't do well, and this is how I'm going to try to help you. And that's taken this defense from at the beginning of the season, which I thought they were a very good defense, to, in my opinion, an elite defense.
And the thing about Jeffrey Simmons is he makes everybody else on that D line better.
Oh yeah,
I feel like he's the type of player that he's such just a monumental figure in the locker room on that line. I mean, people want to play up to the standard he's playing up to. They look up to him. I think. You look at a lot of these guys like Tierra Tart, who's playing lights out. You look at Ware. You look at a lot of these guys that they brought in too. I feel like, they're probably playing at a higher motor because they see Jeffrey Simmons out there going 8 nuts every play trying to destroy somebody. And I think Jeffrey Simmons is the attitude of this defense. Derrick Henry is the attitude of this offense. Now, I do want to get to the AJ tweet real quick, and I don't want to spend a lot of time on it because it's whatever. But
no, please do.
He did tweet during the game yesterday. He ended up deleting it. At first, I thought a fan made it or something. I thought it was bullcrap. But I don't have the tweet here, but it was something about, nobody's getting open. I think that's what he tweeted.
Yeah.
And to me, there was something a little telling about that tweet. And it's almost like, and I know, look, AJ's always tweeting. He's got the tweet fingers. He's always tweeting out stupid stuff and things like that. But to me, it's almost like, okay, dude, look, you're what? They're 8-0 now, the Eagles. He's top 5 in receiving. He's killing it. He's doing great. Why are you still worried? Why are you still tweeting about your old team? To me, it's almost like I feel like he's a little jealous, or like he's still – maybe he wanted to be with us. Maybe it wasn't on him. You know what I mean? And you have a generational talent come in your door at wide receiver. They said it on the broadcast. They brought it up on the broadcast last night. The one thing I agreed with Chris Collinsworth. But you have a player. When do the Titans, in their history, even go back to the Oilers? When have they had these game-breaking type of wide receivers? Very rarely. I mean, very rarely. If you go back to the Oiler days, there's probably some. I know mainly Titans history. I mean, Derek Mason was really good. He wasn't a game breaker. I mean, he could change games, but A.J. Brown is a game breaker. You have that type of generational talent in your building in his prime. I just feel like you do what you have to do to make it happen. Next year you go look at Jeffrey. You do what you have to do to make it happen. I'm still pissed about the AJ thing. Now, a lot of people are bad mouthing AJ. Whatever.
I agree. When I saw the tweet, I said, "Amen, brother, preach," because he was absolutely right.
Yeah.
And there were people talking about, well, he forced his way out. He forced his way out. I said this many times, and I will say it again. The Tennessee Titans gave up on A.J. Brown. They gave up on him. I kept saying, just like with Harold Landry, pay that man. It was not that hard. The salary cap, and I know people will trash me for this, the salary cap is a myth. It's not real. You can manipulate it. You can manipulate it the way you want. AJ, you can tell AJ still want to be here. He's obviously paying attention. I mean, you look at those stats. He has what? Almost 60 catches, maybe 65 catches. He has more yards and 3 or 4 times more touchdowns than any of our receivers. All our receivers combined have 1 touchdown. 1. AJ has 6 alone. You think he wouldn't be doing that with us? He would. So I'm on AJ's side, and I will ride or die with downtown AJ Brown.
And TA, I want to get your thoughts on this too, because I'm curious as how you feel about the whole AJ thing.
Man, it'd be nice to have him, right? I actually got a ball gifted to me from my wife, a signed AJ Brown ball. I have a lot of stuff that's not even up. I have pictures on my Twitter. You guys have, I don't know, for the people who have followed me have probably seen it. I have these custom Titans things that go on the wall I have a Derrick Henry signed helmet that says 19 rushing champion, and a signed AJ Brown ball with their own custom wall mounts. I just don't have them up. Don't have the time to put them up or anything. But the ball is still going up. That's where I'm going at. Just because he left doesn't mean I'm going to stop cheering for the guy or rooting for him. He didn't hurt me at all. Like, he did what he had to do. He wanted money. He got the money. He said, I'm worth it. I think everybody and their mamas are going to tell you he's worth it. I mean, the thing everybody was scared about was, well, he's injury prone. Well, I mean, it's football. Anyone could get hurt any play. It's a contact sport. And I kind of feel bad for Burks because it's like everybody's expecting him to go out there and at least perform at AJ Brown's level, knowing AJ Brown, when AJ Brown's healthy, he's a top 5 receiver. Like every 50-50 balls, he's probably a top 5 receiver. Yards after the catch, I think he's the best after the catch. It's a lot to ask of a rookie to kind of fill the spot. Obviously we're all hurting. We're all missing him, but it's okay because we have Stonehouse, baby. Yes. Yes. We've got a Stonehouse, baby, a boot like I've never. Well, we've always had a pretty good punter around, but that's somebody who I said on Twitter. There's 3 reasons why the Titans will always have a chance to beat somebody. I don't care who we're playing. We could play God and Zeus on the same team. Doesn't matter. Look, we got Derrick Henry, we got a defense, and we got Stonehouse. These 3 recipes. If we would have ran the damn ball, we would be still only 2 losses, and I'm going to sit on that. I'm telling you, if we would have still ran the ball, the TOP would have been off the clock, and trust me, you're not going to stop Derrick Henry every time. You might stop him half the time at the line, but he's going to break one eventually. He's very good at 8+ in the box. He's very good against that. It's very upsetting. It's very upsetting that we lost, but you know what? Guess what? We're in a division where it's a bunch of tomato cans. They don't know what they're doing anywhere over there. The Colts are completely. I mean, we can go on. We can go on for days. The Colts are a complete mess. The Jaguars, they don't know if they want to be good or bad. Depends. It depends how Trevor Lawrence woke up that morning. Hair on the left side or the right side. Who knows? And then you got the Texans who. in 2 years, you guys, in 2 years, we'll know if the Texans are good. They got a lot of draft picks, a lot of money to spend too, so we'll see. But right now, we're sitting pretty, man. The AFC South is ours. Not even worried about it. Congratulations, fellas, on another division championship. Feels good. We'll be getting another home playoff game, and I really, really hope to see the Chiefs again. I really want to see the Chiefs again.
Me too.
Did you guys? I want to kind of. I know this is kind of random, but did you guys hear about Josh Allen?
Elbow.
No, whatever.
Yeah, he's dealing with an elbow issue. What do they call it? A UCL or a
I think it's a UCL,
something like that. On that fumble when his arm bent back, he was holding it, and I guess there's some issues with it or whatever. I don't know how serious it is or not, but that's something to kind of look out for, man. Because Josh Allen, talk about carrying a football team offensively. Oh my gosh. Literally one-man gang over there with, he's got Diggs or whatever, but he literally does everything. He runs. He's their best runner. It's crazy. It would be nice to have somebody like that, though, too, right? Oh, man.
Well, I think, to me, the A.J. Brown one is one of those ones where I can see both sides of it. You look at A.J. Brown, and when he was here on this team, was he the best player on offense? That's a real question, guys.
Besides Derrick Henry, yes.
No, I mean, was he the best player on offense?
Besides Derrick Henry, yes.
So you're saying Derrick Henry is the best player on offense?
Yeah, Derrick Henry. What he's saying is even including Derrick Henry, would AJ be better? And no,
I would say take Derrick Henry out the equation.
Well, the reason why I say that is what he is making right now in Philly is more than Derrick Henry is making here in Tennessee.
Yeah,
it's a pass first league though. The running backs are treated like.
So if you're saying Derrick Henry is our best player, he's probably should be the highest paid player. And if he's the highest paid player, then you can't give AJ the $25 million that he got. You can't.
That's what the market demands. Receiver is the more payable option. It's the more expensive option. Pay that dude.
Well, then you're telling Derrick Henry he's not the best. He's not the best player in the NFL, and I think that's wrong. I think he is.
Well, I'll ask you this: take Derrick Henry away.
Okay.
Where are we going? Who are we throwing the ball to? Who else do we have? Nobody.
Those play actions won't be there.
Right. Exactly.
Mm-mm.
I mean, what are we going to do? Oh, play action to Hollister because they love throwing to him.
And the other thing that kind of, I don't know how to put this. How is it that Tennessee players, when they're here, tend to be hurt and re-aggravate that injury over and over and over again, but then they go somewhere else and they're absolutely healthy, never been sick a day in the rest of their life?
That was a point that I was going to bring up.
I don't understand how that happens. Is there something in our protocols that are not it's not getting done? I don't know. I mean, but you see it time and time again. You'll see players for the Tennessee Titans, injury after injury after injury after injury. They'll go somewhere else, be there for a few months or a year or something, and then all of a sudden they're never injured again.
I know. What is up with that?
Yep.
Either the Tennessee Titans have the worst medical luck on the face of the earth, or there are some things that are not going on in our training staff that needs to be addressed.
Now that I can agree with you on.
Yes.
So you get your choice.
They drinking
on
the
that
wrong water.
No, I think it has a lot to do with our strength and conditioning program. I think it has a lot to do with our after treatment program from injuries. And you heard a little bit this from Julio last year. You heard a little bit of the mumbling from Julio about how they treat injured players. So I personally think that we need to be doing something in our protocols and our training staff that needs to change. There's some things that need to change. I mean, how is a guy who with a chronic injury all of a sudden world beaters and not hurt for the first time in his career?
It's wild. I wanted to put this up there. This was funny, man. And there was a press conference with Irsay and all of them earlier. I watched some of it on Bring the Juices thing, but I guess he said this during. This is Carrie. This is Tyler's wife, but she says, Jim Irsay, I don't know how to make sausage. I don't know what goes in the sausage, but I do know how to build a football team. I've been doing this for 50 years. I don't know why he's talking about sausage in the press conference, but I know when I watched that press conference, he said, about 55 times in a minute when he was talking. It got so bad where I literally could not even watch it anymore because he said, so many times. It was driving me up the wall. But I've seen a lot of comments tonight about Titans need to hire Frank Wright.
Oh, my God, no, please.
And I'm like, hell no, man. I mean, have you seen how he neglects Jonathan Taylor? I don't know.
Who's that?
Who's that? Which he hasn't done nothing this year anyway. He's not.
I didn't even know he still played.
Well. Right.
Hey, isn't it funny how when Jonathan Taylor's not being compared, they're comparing some other running back to Derrick Henry. It's always somebody, right?
I was told all of last year and all offseason by Colts fans that Jonathan Taylor was the best running back in the league. But I mean, how's that working out for him?
Well, I believe what had happened is sometime over the summer. I'm not sure if I read a story about this or not, but sometime over the summer, Jonathan Taylor witnessed a mob hit, so he's been witness protection, and they were just trying to help him out.
Wow.
I like joking with these Colts guys on Twitter and stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, they traded away their best running back.
That's hilarious. Yeah, they traded away Hines, right?
Yeah,
they did.
Who's he with?
Bills.
Buffalo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I thought I saw him make a play. I didn't even know they traded him until I saw during a game. I was like, he's on Buffalo now. But it's crazy. Anyways, we're at an hour and 17 minutes. We still got 40-something people in the house. Thank y'all so much. Tighten up the like button. Go follow all these guys, man. Follow Titans Time Podcast on YouTube, Twitter, all the listening apps out there. Titans for Life, YouTube. Big Chris, Titans of Truth on YouTube and Twitter. And TA. TA does the watch parties multiple times a week. He's one of the OGs. And, go follow him on YouTube, Twitter as well. A couple other things I wanted to get to here, and then we'll start wrapping it up, guys. TA brought this up earlier with Henry slapping all the defensive players, guys' hands in the locker room and stuff like that. And I kind of wanted to ask this question, man. Are we wasting Derrick Henry? Are we at this point where, look, he's getting more and more carries and stuff like that. I personally don't think we are. I mean, I think that you got to use him. He's the best player in your team. But offensively, there's just nothing to compliment him. And it's a shame. It's such a crying shame that there's nothing to compliment him. I don't know, man. I don't know if there's a question in there or what. But if you guys have any thoughts on it, fire away.
Can't waste somebody that you only give 8 carries in the second half after he averages 10 yards a carry. You're not wasting him because you're not using him.
Right.
I think we are wasting them. I'm talking about in the whole grand.
Oh, yeah.
Of the whole grand spectrum of things, not just in this game. But you have a guy in his prime, but yet you're not helping him. You're not helping Tannehill. Y'all kept saying you got to be better around Tannehill and Henry. but you go and not do that. Dennis Daly is not helping you be better around Henry. That's making you look worse. Only having trade away A.J. Brown doesn't make you better around those guys. And none of these receivers make you better. And it's wasted away not only Derrick Henry, but you're wasting away this defense. Because we don't know if this defense is going to be like this next year. They should be, but we don't know. Because like I said, injuries happen, and they shouldn't have let go of Steve Watterson because we wouldn't have injuries this long with him.
Right.
So I think we all kind of wasted him. It's a shame. I am glad to witness a Hall of Fame career, but Dag, he deserves to get a ring.
And I think
he does.
Y'all said it best there, because in the way of, are we wasting him as far as wearing him down with the carries and stuff? No, we're not. I mean, like Drew said, the dude's in his prime. Like James said, when you only give him 8 carries in the second half of this last game, when he should have had 16 plus in the second half, you're not wasting him there. But to Truth's point, he deserves a better offense. He deserves for this team to do better with their offensive line. You look at the Browns. People talk about, another running back name they want to throw out is Nick Chubb. I guarantee you, if you put Derrick Henry behind that Browns offensive line, he leads the league right now in rushing. He would lead it by a hell of a lot more behind that offensive line. So, not wasting him in the way of running him down, but wasting his prime by not building this offense up more around him.
I do want to before we get out of here, let's look at the schedule real quick on who we got coming up. The next couple games. Let me take this banner off of here. So obviously we're 5-3 right now as of week 10. Well, week 10's coming up. But we got Denver Sunday, which I'll be at that game. And then we got Green Bay on a Thursday night, so a quick turnaround. And then you got Cincy and Philly. So these next 4 games, man, they're super important. Obviously Denver is not as good as everybody thought they were going to be. Green Bay, I still get worried about Green Bay. They still got Aaron Rodgers. Even though they're not playing well, they still got Aaron Rodgers. They can still throw the ball on you. Then obviously you got Cincy, which is a handful in itself with Mixon. He just had 5 TDs. They're starting to click. Now, I don't know if Jamar Chase will be back. And then obviously you got the juggernaut in Philly there. What do you kind of guys see over these next 4 games? How do you guys feel about it?
I'm scared.
Does anybody who wants to go? TA, you go ahead.
I think over the next 4 specifically, it's something where we gotta, it could be tricky. Denver's a team where they're really struggling. Green Bay's a team that last time we played them and didn't look good, and Aaron Rodgers is there, but he's struggling. Since Cincinnati is playing a lot better as of recent, and Philly's undefeated. We got to win at least 2, obviously, but it'd be nice to walk away with 3. And out of the 4, if I was to predict 4 of them, I have us winning 3 of them. And the only team I have us losing to is Green Bay. I have us beating every other team. I have us beating Denver, Cincinnati, and Philly. And actually, I do have a bet with Joey Shakes, and I don't know if he's listening, but be ready, buddy. We're going to take that. First loss. Come on, Philly, come bring it.
And TDP, what do you think, man?
So, like TA was saying, Denver's been struggling. I mean, I feel like their defense is good, and this may come down to a defensive battle in this game because Russ and that offense, there's times where he's cooking up maybe a bologna sandwich in the kitchen, but that's about it. Green Bay, they look completely different with Devontae Adams gone, and like TA mentioned, last time we met them, wasn't so pretty, but they don't have Devontae Adams now. Cincy, yeah, Mixon's coming off that 5-touchdown performance. Like you said, Jamar Chase may not be there, but Cincy's kind of been back and forth as far as their consistency. And I'm really looking forward to the game against the Eagles because the Texans really showed that you can run on the Eagles. And, we got Derrick Henry back there. So I like our chances. I think we can – I'm with TA. I think we at least win 3 of them.
And James, I'll let you go, and Chris round it out there. I think you're muted, man.
Okay, my bad. To me, I think Denver and Green Bay, the way they're looking right now, I don't know if Green Bay can mount any kind of a comeback just because they're similar to the Titans in that they just don't have a lot of wide receiver talent right now. Denver, I just don't see Denver being able to move the ball as well as Tennessee because Tennessee has a dominant running back. That's simple on that. Now, so when it comes to Cincinnati, I think is going to be a really fun game to watch because, defensively the chess match is going to be on then. But I think out of all of those, the one that I think is more important to the psyche of the Titans is going to be Philly. Going up there with A.J. Brown there, that is important to the psyche of this team. To go up there and say, have some kind of a statement. And if I'm not mistaken, when does Burks come back? Is it this week? He's eligible to come back this week?
Yes, yeah. I believe
he can come back this week, but they probably won't. I mean, I'm surprised they do.
Well, I don't think Burks has to be out there and put up big numbers to win. I don't think he has to be an A.J. Brown. We just need that guy that can take the top off of a defense. And Burks can do that. And that's where the Titans can excel. That's where the play action really becomes effective. So, to me, the most important game out of all of these, if you want to talk about just the mentality of the Titans, is Philly. But I think we run the table on these 4 teams, just to be honest with you. I really think we run the table on these. I would be happy with 2-2 or 3-1, but I think we run the table on these next 4 teams.
Interesting. All right, Chris, what you got, man?
All right. I'm going to play a little devil's advocate, and I hate to do this. I think in my heart, I think we go 3-1 in this stretch. And I do think that one game in my heart that does scare me the most is Green Bay because it's coming off of 4 days playing Denver. That I do agree with. At the same time, now even though the Titans have gotten better at this, we do tend to play down to our competition. And that's why that Denver game does have me just a smidge nervous. Not too nervous, because I think we should win the game. But that Denver game is exactly the type of game we could end up losing because we have no offense besides Derrick Henry. but I still think we'll win. And I think we do go 3-1 in this stretch. But they could very easily go 1-3 in this stretch too. If they don't get no semblance of offense to help their defense. But I will say I will go with my heart instead of my mind. And they do get 3 out of 4.
Yeah, and I agree with you on the Denver thing, Truth. I mean, I think this all hinges on if Ryan Tannehill is going to be back. You know what I mean? Like if he's going to be back, I think a lot of it hinges on that. We don't know how bad the injury is. Is it worse than we think? The Titans are really close to the hip with hiding that type of stuff. I think if Tannehill's back, then yeah, I think we could beat Denver, but I think Denver is going to give us some fits though, because of their defense and how inept our offense is. I think we should beat Green Bay. Cincy, I don't know. Cincy's going to be a tough game, I think. Philly, I feel like for whatever reason we might match up well against them, at least defensively. So I don't know. I'm gonna say 2-2. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I hope we go at least 3-1. I would love to go at least 3-1. I think we pull it out. I hope we don't lose 2 in a row, whatever it is. I think we pull it out against. I don't know. Maybe we go 3-1. I don't see us losing against Green Bay. I think Green Bay. It's in Green Bay though, right? I couldn't.
And that's the thing I'm worried about. I know some others saying Green Bay sucks and all.
It's in
but
Green
I'm like,
Bay.
It's in Green Bay, and it's still Aaron freaking Rodgers.
Right. I mean,
on the other side.
Yeah, he's had a bad season, but you never know with that guy. You know what I mean? And they've trounced us before. I don't know. I don't know. Hopefully we can go 3-1.
The thing that gives me the thing that gives me the most confidence against Denver is Russell Wilson has spent more time on the dirt this season than dirt. It's more time on the ground than dirt this year. I mean, he's 23, 24 sacks, something like that.
Yeah, he's been terrible.
I mean, he
absolutely
has been
terrible. Tomato can.
They might as well take him to the local boxing training center and hang him up on a string, because that's how much he's been hit. He might take fewer shots that way, but I tell you what, and our defense, the way they're playing right now, I think he's going to spend a lot of time on the ground. I think he's going to, I'm as many hits as he's taken, as many sacks as he's had, I really, I'm not joking on this. I feel kind of afraid for his health, his long-term health, because he's getting hit, and some of these sacks are not just him falling down and they touching him kind of sacks. Some of these sacks he's getting blowed up, and even when he's getting rid of the ball and delivering the ball out there, he's taking shots. Now think of that with Jeffrey Simmons and Thierry Tart hitting him. That's, I mean, whew, and these two guys these two guys are playing out of their minds. So Denver, I'm not as concerned about Denver as I think some of you are, because we offensively we may play down a little bit to them, but we still have the boss in the backfield and Derrick Henry. We have the boss. So to me, I think our matchup with them is that defensively, it's going to be very difficult for them to move the ball consistently on us. So I don't know. It's just, we've got to figure out long term what we're going to do on our offensive line, on our particularly our left side, and what we've got to do wide receiver wise.
Yeah. Hopefully Burks comes back.
Like I said, he doesn't have to be an all-star. All he's got to do is take the top off the defense every once in a while, enough to make that safety stay back another 2 yards. And that 2 yards turns into a touchdown when Derrick Henry gets his, the ball in his hands.
So anyways, guys, we're gonna wrap it up here. We've gone an hour and a half tonight. I appreciate you guys coming on, man. I really do. Go follow these guys. Go follow these guys on YouTube, on Twitter. Tighten up, guys. I do appreciate y'all coming on tonight, man.
Tighten up, everybody. Keep it real.
Tighten up.
That's all we know how to do.
Yeah, man. Till next time, guys.
Peace.
Oh, all righty. I'm going to back you guys out of here, and I'm going to wrap it up here, and I will see y'all later. All right, so there we go. Like I said, I appreciate all those guys coming on tonight. Awesome show, and y'all been awesome in the chat. And I wanted to get to some of these super chats here because I didn't get to them yet. Sorry I couldn't get to a lot of your comments tonight. It's kind of hard when you got 4 awesome guests on like them. So William Young with the super chat earlier, do the smart thing, rest and get healthy, go 9-8, get the 4 seed, and just prepare for the playoffs. Well, I hope we go better than 9-8. I hope we go better than that, William. But yeah, I mean, the good thing is, like TA said, we win our division. We do get it. That does guarantee us 1 home playoff game at least. But hopefully, you never know. You never know. This team might turn it around a little bit, just enough offensively, and we end up, maybe climbing into the 2 seed. And I mean, you never know. If the 1 seed loses in the playoffs, you end up getting an AFC championship game at home if you win those games. Is it wishful thinking? The Titans will surprise you. We've learned that time and time again. They surprised me yesterday. Honestly, they surprised me yesterday. I expected a close game. I didn't expect this to just come out there and completely smack them in the mouth. The way that we played them, the physicality, they just couldn't handle it. I mean, Kelsey was whining all night. He was slamming the field, acting like a baby, like this.
Here's Mahomes. It's out quick. It's Kelsey. He couldn't hold on to the ball.
Just all night long.
Season ago. And they felt like, I won't use the exact language that they were telling me, but they got their butt kicks.
And here's when he cheated.
Here it comes, a big hole, no question. Kelsey retaliates by throwing his helmet into the...
And I love Chris Collinsworth, and I tweeted on this during the game. It's amazing how these broadcasters, they just sit there and they talk a big hold on Kalu. They don't even watch the freaking play. Like they're sitting there watching it in real time, but they don't even take the time. Oh, a huge hope. When Kelsey literally, as soon as he gets off the line, he's boom right up in his face. Now, a lot of people say, oh, he had his arms around. Well, the guy's hands are like this up in his face. I mean, where else is the arm supposed to go? I mean, you can't really go in because he's like this. You know what I mean? And we'll watch it again real quick.
Here it comes, a big hole, no question. Kelsey retaliates by throwing his helmet into the...
So he grabs his face mask, and then the commentators are acting like, oh, it's all willy-nilly. It's just part of the game. That's, you know what I mean? And even Mike Vrabel, who never says anything against players, he said during the press conference, something about, well, Kelsey always gets away. I'm paraphrasing, not exactly right, but that's Travis Kelsey. They've let him do it for years. I mean, come on, man. I mean, it's specialized treatment. Look, I'm not saying that The refs won us that game or anything like that. But there was some major, major moments in that game where penalties were not called or they were called on us that changed the momentum and the outcome of that game. Point blank. If they call that 2-point penalty right, or at least offset it, you back them up another yard, which is a big deal. I've heard Kansas City, it would have been 2 yards anyways rather than 1 yard. He still would have got in. That's not true, man. That another yard against this Titans defense that made you earn every single inch last night. I mean, another yard is like 10 yards in a normal game. I mean, the Titans defense played absolutely unhinged last night. They did everything they could. Look, they gave up a drive here and there, but they did everything they could, and they played unhinged last night. They made the Kansas City Chiefs earn every single yard. Even the passes that were completed, Mahomes was running around like a chicken with his head cut off. The play that killed us, the play that absolutely killed us, that really broke us, and there was a block in the back on this play on the Chiefs that they didn't call. Here it is.
Mahomes is chased. Looking for somebody deep downfield. He's got to take off himself.
I want you to see that at the very beginning. I don't know who it is, but you see it at the very beginning. There's an insane block in the back.
Mahomes is chased. Looking for somebody deep downfield. He's got to take off himself.
So right there in the defensive line.
Mahomes is chased. Looking for somebody deep downfield. He's got to take off himself. Can he get there? Oh, he did.
Be the catcher over there. You be the backstop. You cannot give.
And look, the game was chippy, and this is what I blame the refs for, okay? I'm not sitting here saying that I blame the refs for us losing the game, which I think in a way they did. But I blame the refs for letting it get out of hand from the very beginning. From the very beginning, it was super chippy. They were fighting each other. The refs should have took an initiative, grouped up and said, look, this game is going to get out of hand, and we're going to look like some real idiots come the end of the game because we're letting some of this stuff go on. They should have stepped up and put a stop to it from the very beginning. I'm not, called things on both sides fairly from the very beginning, got that chippiness out, took control of the game. The refs totally lost control of that game from the very first play. They totally lost control of the game, and that's on them, and that's on the NFL. I'm not saying that it caused us to lose the game or whatever, but I'm saying that it was a bad look. It was a bad look, and they should have got a hold on it in the beginning. I liked the chippiness. I liked that we were going at them. I mean, it was like a freaking boxing match. You know what I mean? It was like Rocky versus Ivan Drago. You know what I mean? Rocky gets hit down. They keep coming back. Super proud of the boys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. Y'all have been absolutely amazing. All the super chats tonight. Philip Maddox with the $2 one earlier. You guys have probably been about $60 tonight. So I do appreciate that greatly. And yeah, man, let's rock and roll. We got 4 pretty big games coming up. You got Denver, Green Bay. Who did we have after Green Bay? Denver, Green Bay. And then we got Philadelphia. Who am I missing here? Cincinnati. That's right, Cincinnati. I'll be at the Denver and the Cincinnati game. If any of you guys are there, come holler at me. And like I said, follow me on Twitter and on YouTube. And I'll see you guys later, man. Thank you so much for the support. We appreciate you. We are growing here at the network. We've added Ryan Harris. And, I do want to take a minute and give my prayers out to Ryan Harris. He's going through some stuff right now. We love you, buddy. Draft Brian has joined. Obviously, we got Titans for Life, the Power Hour, Titan Upload. So we're growing, man. And a big shout out to Titan Anderson and Titans Time Podcast. They've always been very close to me personally as friends, but not only and also to this network as well. So shout out to them. Shout out to Tyler and his wife, good friends of mine as well. And yeah, guys, I guess that'll do it. And like I said, tighten up. We will see you guys soon.